Hi, it's Sylvie with another weekly health tip. I'm talking about nonviolent communication by Marshall Rosenberg and the many ways it can be used for healing, interpersonal healing and healing within ourselves. So it's always nice to start with ourselves, and as a practice, it can be used to help us work through feelings when we're triggered. It can help us work through long-standing have to lists and to have a look at different needs that are brought up by different voices in ourselves. I always say we have an internal committee, or some people say it's a family grouping within our mind, and we have many voices, and sometimes we speak harshly to ourselves because the voices inside of us don't know nonviolent communication or compassionate communication. So that is what I wanted to talk about today. Down below I left a process that you can follow, which is in detail, and we'll be skimming over it in the video because it's fairly lengthy, so I don't want to take up too much time in video. To do this process, it's very important that you have a clear understanding of what a real feeling and a real need is. So a real feeling is something you can feel in your body and something that belongs entirely to you and has nothing to do with anybody else. So in NVC, a real feeling would be, I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I'm lonely. It wouldn't be like, I'm feeling ignored, because that's actually saying what the other person is doing to you. So it's actually a judgment. It's not even a feeling. So there's a little example there. And again, a real need would be harmony, peace, calm, rest, respect. And a not real need would be, I need you to be quiet. So that's more of a strategy, how someone is going to attain their need for peace and quiet. So there are many infinite ways of getting that need for peace and quiet met. It may not have to be that that person at that time needs to be quiet. So just some ideas to differentiate between that. There's a lot of lists of feelings and needs online. You can access them for free. Nonviolent Communication Feelings and Needs List. There's many PDF files available, and it's all free to download. A lot of the nonviolent communication material is open source, so it's great for doing your own research. I left some notes here, and I also left some cheat sheets. I have one cheat sheet that I use in case you're triggered or in case you would like to apply nonviolent communication. There's running through sort of steps of questioning for yourself and for other people, and how you go about applying it. It's a little bit clunky, especially at first. So what I recommend is, if you are new at using nonviolent communication or compassionate communication, then you just let the person know that this is what you're working with. And it might sound a little clunky and awkward, and the intention is to really respect the other people's needs and your own, and to find a way to have a mutually win-win situation. So the idea is that the other people's needs matter and our needs matter, and how can we work together to find a way to approach getting everyone's needs met to the best of our abilities. So saying that, let me see if there's something else I can add. Sure, I can add a little bit here. So what I do is I use journaling with nonviolent communication. So let's say I'm triggered, for example, I will journal, and I will put on all the colorful language and all the Jackal language, everything that I just get it all on paper. It's a really great way to release. And then I will explore it later. So I'll reread it and see, what are the feelings and needs that are coming up here? So let's say I'm feeling angry and frustrated because my roommate is leaving a lot of clothing on the floor or on the couch in the communal living space, and this is happening regularly. So I could have a lot of feelings about that, and I could talk about a mess. And the idea is, when I talk to the other person about it, also we want to talk about observations. And an observation is like a video camera or a scientist. It's just the facts. So it's not like walking in and saying, oh my goodness, what a mess there is. That's a judgment. It's like, oh, when I noticed that there's 3 articles of clothing and some shoes on the floor in the main room, I start to feel overwhelmed and stressed. because my need for order is not being met. Now, before that, before even going there, the idea is to have empathy for yourself if you're feeling frustrated before even mentioning anyone. So what feeling and need am I needing? Oh, it's a need for order. Oh, it's a need for space. Oh, maybe it's a need for respect. And how am I feeling? I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling disappointed. I'm feeling sad. So those are different, or overwhelmed, different feelings. So once you've given yourself some empathy, then the idea is to think about the other person. Maybe they had a reason for leaving the clothes there, even if it's a regular thing. So maybe they're really exhausted when they come in from work and they don't have the energy to hang things up, etc., etc. So to check in with them and see how they're doing, see if they're open to having a conversation, and also seeing said, oh, I noticed that you've been leaving your clothing items on the floor in the main area, and I'm just wondering what's going on with you, like how is that helping you, and getting clear as to what need that's meeting, because every action that anyone does is meeting a need. So the idea is to get to their need and get to your need and find a way that you can both get your needs met. So your need for order and their need for maybe ease, their need for more time. So maybe they can just dump it all in their room instead of in the main room, so that at least the main room is clear. There's so many options once you figure out what each people's needs are and once you hear each other's needs. I think that's about it. I don't want this video to be too long. And you can do that with voices within yourself. So let's say you do something, you're not happy with yourself about it, and you go, oh, that was a stupid thing to do. So that voice that's within you that said, oh, that was a stupid thing to do, is actually trying to help you. They just don't know nonviolent communication. So you can look at the need behind the comment and say, well, what part of me, what is that part needing that they didn't get when I did this? Maybe it was effectiveness. Maybe it was respect for someone else. Maybe it could be any number of needs. So once you get it clear as to literally giving that part of yourself some empathy and trying to get what the real message behind the comment was, then it softens the blow, and you can actually see, oh, this was actually trying to help me. It wasn't communicating it in a very kind way, but it was actually, this voice was actually trying to support my well-being and to see which needs of mine were not being met when I did this action that part of me thought was stupid. So then you can actually connect with the other part of you that may have been hurt or upset by that comment, and have that stupid talking voice empathize with that part of you, and have those two parts find some kind of harmony in terms of how can all of the needs be met. What can I do next time? Maybe you can just mourn the fact that, okay, I did this, it didn't work out, I didn't get all my needs met, I will try something different next time, and see if that voice softens or feels satisfied by that conviction. And I think that's it. Until next time, have a great week. Bye-bye.